Okay, today's a fun one. I'm going to run through 21 different handstand entries. I might add a couple more as well as we go if I can think of any others. If you know any others, stick them down in the comments below. So 21 different handstand entries. Now, if you're not freestanding yet, you can do majority of these up against the wall as well. I'll go through a little bit of technique as I go, but it's going to be quite fast. I'm actually going to see how quickly I can get through them. I haven't done any type of warm-up, so I'm going to warm up as I go. If you're going to join in, just make sure your wrists and stuff are happy before you start. And Rosie's going to help us as well. Now, the first one is just the normal hand balancing kick up. Now with the hand balancing kick up, we start with the shoulders on top of the hands and we start with our hands on the floor and then just kicking up with obviously the goal being to stick in that handstand position there, or if you need to, heels to the wall. And then when you come back down, try and practice the same eccentric, so the same down as you go up, so the shoulders should still be on top of the hand. And that's the main one that I use when I teach people to handstand. Then we have the gymnastic version. Now the gymnastic version starts in this one a bit more like a hollow body position, and then they use momentum to go into the position. So there, same thing, ideally try and catch before the wall. That one was a little bit short, but I pulled it up into position, or heels to touch the wall. And then when you come back out, same thing. So already in this position, already pushing nice strong shoulders when you go into it. Then we have the first of the jumps. Now this isn't in any particular order. Normally people would maybe go for a straddle jump first, but I've put tuck down first. So I prefer to have shoulders on top of the hands, pick that focal point, stick it so it does not change. And then I'm gonna bend the knees to get the power from the jump, pass through the tuck, into the handstand. So I'm actually jumping to handstand. I'm not jumping to a tuck handstand, but I pass through tuck on the way back down. Then we have the straddle, exactly the same. But when you do the straddle jump, if you notice when I go up, I'm still bending the knees exactly the same, but it's the point that the toes come off is when I go around the outside through the straddle and back again. Exactly the same, but pike. So keeping the legs straight once we get the jump. So legs straight to get up. Use the wall if need be, same on the way down, bend the knees at the bottom. Then we have the same but kneeling. Now with the kneeling jump, thumbs by the knees. I'm going to use the power of the knee extension and the hip extension to get us up. Now the first one I put down was tuck. So exactly the same as before. Toes come off, pass through tuck into your handstand. You can do this back to wall, obviously. Same thing on the way down. We could do that in straddle. So legs go out as the toes come off the floor. Same in the eccentric, pike exactly the same, but legs stay straight. Ooh, I got that one a bit short. We managed to pull it up with the shoulders. Then we can slow it down and start to use a little bit more strength. So we'll go through straddle press to handstand. So yeah, we got slightly wider with the hands externally rotated. Push the floor away from you through the upper back. Pass through straddle to your straight handstand and back down. Then we have the tuck, same, but passing through tuck, same on the way down, and then pike, ooh, up. That's obviously a harder one for me, strength-wise. Then we have stool to press. Now with the stool to press, it can obviously be done with your hands raised, which is a little bit easier mobility-wise. You can start from the floor, which I haven't warmed up for, but I'll try and get one from the floor, or you could step into the straddle L-sit first. So from the floor, ideally you'd push up and your heels wouldn't be on the floor. I cheat a little bit. Ooh. So that was tricky with no warm-up. See how I slid the heels? Same on the way down. A nice little trick with this one. Keep the toes down for longer till you find balance at the bottom, then lift the toes. Because most people will whip the feet up and they fall backwards. Then we have the L-sit or full pike press to handstand. Now I definitely can't get this one on the floor, especially not even going to get close without the warm-up. So I'm going to use a little bit of momentum. See if I can get through on the first go. So starting in a straight-legged L-sit position, passing through your pike press to handstand. You can use a little bit of momentum. You can see that was super muscled. Then we can go into a bit more bent arm strength movement. So we can go headstand up. So you'll need to turn the hat around for this one. Starting in a headstand position on the floor. Transferring the weight into the hands
head comes off, and then push up. Obviously, if you need the wall, that's there if you need it. And then try and get back down, show control on the headstand before you come back out. So it's basically a slow or dead stop or dead start handstand push-up. Similar is the crow up or frog stand up to handstand. So from there, slightly smaller range, and you can use a little bit more of that seesaw, hips coming up, shoulders coming down. So that seesaw type movement there to help you get a bit of momentum to push into it. So definitely easier than the dead start headstand version. Super fun one. You could slow this down and go a little bit more one army, but a cartwheel to handstand, so basically a side entry. This is a good if you're working chest or handstand and you can cartwheel in and out to the side. It's a bit of fun even if you don't have the freestand in, and a good one to play with on sand or on grass as well, again if you're not holding a freestand handstand. See, I used a little bit of a bent arm to help me. And with this one, you could exit out the other way. And what I recommend is you do one direction and then see if you can get the other direction, which is way harder for most people to go the opposite way because you have a dominant side for that. Then the dead press. Now, a lot of people think the dead press is the hardest handstand push-up variation because you're coming from a dead position on the floor first. Let's see if I can get one. Now, this isn't going to be straight-legged. Straight-legged is seen as the hardest version of the dead press because obviously the lever arm is the longest. I'm going to try not to arch the body up, but it's, in reality it probably is. So, externally rotate, really take the shoulders and head forwards of the body. Keep tension. Nope. Shouldn't talk when I'm about to do that one. That's like max effort for me, especially if I'm not doing a handstand push-up session. Okay, second attempt. See, I cheated a bit more then. Bent the legs, arched, roses come to check. Show control at the top, back down the way you come without slapping the feet into the floor. Now with the zombie press, you'd normally do this on a floor you can slide on with socks or something. I'll take all the skin off my feet if I try and do it on this floor. I'll try with these pieces of wood. Cardboard tends to work on harder surfaces. And then ideally arms are going to stay straight as I slide in. I would normally turn my toes over as well, but I'm a bit nervous about them dragging on the floor. So I go from there. Oh no, that's not going to work on this floor. No. Okay, I'm going to do the bent arm version, which is easier. So I'll start with a bent arm version. So that was a bit messy. Trust me, with socks and a smooth floor, that's much easier. Don't know if I'm going to be able to slide back. No, that was messy, but you know what I mean. I'll put a video of a straight arm version in the bottom of the screen now. Now, puppy press is often used for people that are very flexible and they start to play with presses. You go in from the side, it's a single leg version. So a good way of doing that is, so if I normally handstand or press like this, I'm going to walk to the side. So this way, lift this leg and then bend it and try and push it over the top. And then see, I can pull myself into the position. So that's puppy press. One way of doing that is to elevate the foot up onto something as you go into it. Okay, rolling handstand push-ups. This is where we use a little bit of an arch in the body, which I have zero extension. So for me, it's going to be very muscly. So hands closer to the hip, and then you want to roll. And as you roll, you bend the knees. So try going a little bit of a scorpion. That helps roll you into the handstand. So roll and push like that. So you can just practice doing little movements and then slowly make it bigger and bigger until you get up and over. Then try and extend to straight position for this one, because everyone on this challenge trying to go to straight handstand, then back to scorpion and roll down like so. And then the last one on there for the 21 is croc to handstand. I often do this elevated. Let's do the elevated one because it's a little bit easier to get the momentum to go up, and you'll see a lot of hand balancers will do this.
on the canes because they can get their feet below and use momentum to go up. And if you're doing a long routine or performance, it's about efficiency and saving energy for a longer routine. So doing something that looks graceful and cool but saves energy is a really good way of doing it. So croc can be done like so, or you can lift up one arm and then use that. Is not good because I tried to go strict there, but zapped myself. I'm getting out of breath, so I'm going to try and use a little bit more momentum to help me up this time. So croc there and then down and up. Still too much strength. Same thing on the way back down. So I'm out of time. I need to go pick the kids up from school, but that's 21 done. Let me know if you know any of other ones that I missed out and you want me to try them or go for any tutorials on any of those. Speak to you next time, guys.